This video demonstrates how to remove and rebuild a compressor from a Graco RTX 1400, 2000, 2500. These are the tools that you will need. Push the on-off switch to the off position and wait 7 seconds for power to dissipate. Unplug the sprayer. For an RTX 1400, trigger the gun into the material hopper and then open the air control valve. For RTX 2000 and 2500, open the gun prime valve. Relieve pressure by pointing the gun into the hopper and pulling the trigger. Empty and remove the hopper. Remove the 4 7/16 bolts that attach the sprayer handle, then remove the handle. Remove the 2 3/8 bolts and the top number 3 Phillips screw that are holding the toolbox to the frame. Slide the toolbox out. Remove the remaining 2 number 3 Phillips head screws that secure the 2 shrouds together. Remove the access panel 3/8 bolt and move the access panel out of the way to remove the 3/8 bolt that secures the shroud. Remove both shrouds. Remove the pump securing screw. Remove the pump securing plate. Remove the Rotoflex hose. Remove the 4 bolts that hold the metal support. Remove the 4 screws that hold the circuit board to the metal support. Disconnect the white and black motor wires. Using the 1/4 inch nut driver, remove the green ground wires from the compressor and the metal support. Disconnect the hose that runs from the compressor to the regulator. Disconnect the black hose from the check valve. Remove the screw that holds the compressor to the air cylinder. Lift the compressor out of the sprayer and place it on the bench. Using a 3/8 inch socket and ratchet wrench, loosen the 4 compressor head bolts. With an adjustable wrench, loosen the brass air fitting compression nuts which attach the compressor head until they are free from the threads. With a 5/32 Allen hex wrench, loosen the crankshaft bearing screw. Use the 3/8 inch nut driver to remove the 4 compressor head bolts and spacers from the compressor head. Then remove the compressor head and discard these parts. Slide the crankshaft off the bearing shaft and remove the crankshaft and cylinder from the compressor frame. Remove the old crankshaft bearing and screw and discard. Open the repair kit and place the parts onto the workbench. Remove the cooler tube using a 3/8 inch socket. Work the old compressor drive belt off the drive pulleys. Install the new drive belt onto the pulleys. Reattach the cooler tube. Insert the air intake filter into the compressor head. Install the black gasket into the compressor valve casting and place the valve assembly onto the compressor head. Insert the orange gasket into the valve assembly, making sure that the gasket is completely seated in the gasket channel. Note the shape of the cylinder and the gasket channel. Tighten the crankshaft bearing screw on the new crankshaft and cylinder. Install the 4 spacers on the compressor frame. With the air cooler on the right side, position the crankshaft and cylinder with the part number in the lower left number 1 bolt position. Note the shape of the cylinder and the gasket channel. Insert the crankshaft and cylinder assembly into the compressor frame and slide the crankshaft onto the bearing shaft. Then tighten the crankshaft bearing screw. Position the compressor head onto the cylinder and install the 4 bolts and spacers, just until snug. Attach the brass air fitting compression nut to the compressor head. Do not over-tighten. Following the torque sequence in the manual, tighten the 4 head bolts. If replacing the pump drive belt part number 120234, remove the bolt securing the pump roller pulley and replace the belt. Using the new bolt supplied in the kit, reattach the pulley. Place the rebuilt compressor assembly onto the sprayer. Reattach the power cord ground. Reattach the black hose to the check valve. Reattach the air hose to the regulator. Secure the air cylinder to the compressor. Attach the ground wire to the metal support. Reconnect the motor black and white wires. Attach the circuit board to the metal support. Attach the metal support to the sprayer frame. Move the compressor back and forth to ensure that there is no contact with any wiring. Then, neatly wire tie the wiring harness. Reinstall the Rotoflex hose. Test the sprayer for proper operation. If operating properly, reinstall all covers and shrouds.